GIF is great.
What?
It shows free user versus paying user, and it is an anime, and it shows the free user character just barreling forward, and then the paying user just goes.
Nice. That is funny.
Okay, click. Open Twitch.
Oh no, my lips are chapped.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Games Done Quick is doing a stream today. Alright.
Our Discord bot picked us up, so I assume everything is correctly working.
Good. I put you over here. I get
If you're live on Twitch, that looks good.
I think part of the problem is my hair's getting so long that I need to start pulling it back. I think it's keeping me warm. Okay.
Yeah, long hair will do it to you.
Alrighty. Está aquí. Well, it needs to ping Shack people. Okay.
Go ahead and open up the chat.
Hey, Rebecca.
Where's she?
What up? She's on Twitch.
I don't have her chat message yet. Or it may have came in before I opened it, so it may not be here. Okay. Well, before we begin, I thought I'd do a little show and tell.
Oh. Oh, they came on.
Yep.
Nice.
2 of them.
Wow. One all for Smash, I'm sure.
I have no idea. I have not even opened them up yet, to be honest with you.
Nice. That's pretty cool, though.
They were on the table when I got home, and I brought them down.
I have a lot of stuff upstairs that I haven't brought down.
Just opened them. They are... Okay, so they look like this. And then every one of the back have the same Amiibo logo.
Yeah. Those are nice.
They tell you who they are. They're pretty...
Yeah, they're sick. They're nice.
They're like maybe the size of a quarter.
No, they're bigger than a quarter. I'd say about half dog.
Yeah. I'm sorry. They're about as wide as a quarter, but like the thickness of a poker chip. That's how they feel. They're definitely not as big as a...
Sort of like Pogs, Chaffee. Man, I had a Pog collection.
Yeah, Chaffee. So these are our Amiibo coins
stupid thing
that I bought on eBay.
Pogs were literally cardboard.
That's true. I remember Pogs.
And kids went nuts for them.
And what were the things that you had, like the heavy ones? Slammers?
I don't know about those.
Like, that's how you played Pogs, right? You had, like, the slam them.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
We just collected them.
But Chalfie, yeah, these are Amiibo coins that I bought off Etsy. You know, they're really light. They have, like, 0 weight to them. I mean, they feel like paper. They don't have, like, any heft to them. And it's a complete set. So... I'm probably going to give the rest of my Amiibo cards to the nieces and nephews and just use these. And one of the things that I like about these is on the Pro Controller, you got to put the Amiibo on the middle of the controller. And the cards, you kind of have to, like, fit sideways through the sticks. They don't, like, just lay down. So I'll just be able to take these and...
Yeah. John Capri!
The problem is...
It says I'm 99.99% sure that I've got Mega Man X Pogs. Nice.
The sad part, or the hard issue is, like, when I want to use the Amiibo, I now have to, like, find out where they are. I might need to, like, tab them or something, because then you're just, like, shuffling through hundreds of Amiibo at a time.
I would put pieces of paper, like, A through Z.
Oh, man.
Especially for the Smash ones.
This is really, really cool because, I mean, you could just take a bunch of them and throw them in your... It's like this one's got some discoloration that I'm not a big fan of. He didn't do that great of a job coloring the side. See here, it's like red because the side is red.
Oh, yeah.
what can you do? But yeah, I really like them. They're cool.
Cool.
Our folks on our YouTube channel will maybe appreciate that. They like my amiibo dealings. But it's cool because he's going to do the entire set for me. So even after the new ones come out, he'll just send me updated ones.
Cool.
So I'll have one entire amiibo collection of the exact same thing.
I do too. They're called figures. They're in a cabinet.
They're in a cabinet. Yep. Cool.
You don't have all of the Animal Crossing NFC chip cards, though.
How many of them are there?
460.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, no, I only have 140 or so. I probably have every one of them, though. I believe all of these green ones that he sent me are Animal Crossing, so I've got 20, 22, something like that.
They have 16. They're 16.
Maybe that's it. I have 16.
Magic!
Actually, yeah, because there's 4 blue ones in this thing, so yeah, I have 16.
Mm-hmm.
So I have every one that every figure.
The 4 blue ones are Kirby.
If there's a figure for it, I've got them. All right, you ready? Oh, you know what I need to do? I need to pull up the notes.
That would be wise. Benji, are you still logged in?
What's up, Sean? Sean was listening to me. What were you listening to me on? We haven't done a show yet. Let's see here. Pull up the notes. You ready to Audacity?
Mm-hmm.
3, 2, 1, record. 3, 2, 1, mark.
Mark.
Greetings, Koopalings, and welcome back to the Nintendo Shack. We are recording episode 96 tonight of the Nintendo Shack podcast. My name's Donnie. I'm rocking this show solo tonight because Caroline can't be bothered to step away from her WoW machine.
Okay, I'll leave.
I don't even think we're friends anymore. She doesn't talk to me. She hasn't been in the Discord. She doesn't answer my texts. It's just, I would like to know how Brian feels because I'm feeling pretty gamer jealous over here. He sits on the couch
and plays Fire Emblem, and I sit on the couch and play WoW. So we're fine.
Caroline, how you doing?
I'm fine. I'm sorry. I warned everybody that this is the MMO. This is what happens when the MMO beast comes out. I go all in. I'm actually, as an adult, I'm a lot better than I was as a teenager or in college where I sacrifice sleep, eating, stuff like that. If I'm hungry, I'm like, I really need to go get some food because I'm about to get hangry on some people. Or I'm really tired. I should probably get offline for the night. I'm good about that. But, yeah, when I'm done with work, it's right back into it.
Before we get into the show properly, I do want to thank those that help us, those that produce us over there at patreon.com/PSVG. So thank you to Callow, Barry, Josh, Chris, Dev, Kyle, Benji, Paul, and Joel, the Professor Switch Voss. We appreciate all that you do and all that all of our Patreons do over there to help us keep the show afloat. I have DLC in my Audacity. Now, I recorded it. We didn't do local recordings. I recorded it, and Jason was super loud at first, but then he lowered his mic, and it's good. But Dev, because he's lowered his mic and I lowered him, I also lowered Dev too. So I'm like meticulously going through it and boosting Dev.
Oh man!
So the auto levels might be a little off at times, but fun. I'm trying to make it. That's the reason it hasn't come out yet. I've been holding on to it because I'm kind of going through it a little bit by a little bit. Caroline, would you like to give me a hard time?
So the fact that I can't see the rest of your Pikachu shirt, even though I know it's a Pikachu shirt, it just makes it look a little bit weird. Oh, he's angry. Why is he angry?
Because he's getting a hard time.
Oh. It's not him that I'm giving a hard time. It just looked I
should give you a hard time about this WoW mess.
There's nothing wrong with it.
There is. I'm glad that Benji likes it, but, I mean, Donnie doesn't.
Yeah, Benji joined us. He's been working a little bit, so he's not been able to, like, the logging queues are the worst part, guys. It's so bad. Luckily, I queue myself before I get done with work, so I'm able to just be in automatically. But we're talking, like, there's designated streamer. All the streamers got together, and they decided, let's announce that we're all going to be on this server. that was the stupidest idea. Because not only are they there, but now everybody that follows them are there. We're talking like Twitch partners and stuff. And the queue last night was like 20,000, which was 700 hours or 700 minutes to get in, which is like 12 and a half hours. I don't know how stupid the streamers thought they were doing that, but for us, it's like 5,000.
Wow. I don't know what any of that means.
It takes a long time just to get in because it's been so popular.
Have you played anything else?
Yes, I have. I played the Oninaki demo, which was... All right, so this is my thoughts on Oninaki. Stylistically, it is a combination, I'm going anime nerd now, of Naruto's character design with Bleach's story of like Soul Society and Shinigami and stuff like that. But it's game-wise a combination of Square's Bravely and Xenoblade, because you cycle between 3 or 4 different demons, whatever you want to call
Blades.
them. Yeah, which are basically blades, you know? They fight alongside you and they give you your weapon. So it was a little dark.
It definitely is.
I was kind of depressed while I was playing. I was like, dang. Because like the main character is not exactly the brightest, like cheeriest guy. He's very upset and moody, and I just didn't really relate to him. I felt bad for Mayura, the girl he's with. I think her name was Mayura. I recommend you guys definitely, if you're into RPGs. I'll eventually get the game. I'm kind of disappointed that the physical didn't come to the West, but yeah, I played through that.
It's got mixed reviews. Not reviewing so well.
Yeah, but I feel like for a JRPG, it kind of fits the mold pretty well. I think it's more in the same vein as Bravely Default. It seemed to fall into that line more than a standard like Dragon Quest XI.
I like the demo.
I downloaded the demo and I haven't played that one yet.
Yeah, I like the demo. I thought it was gorgeous. I would like to play it too, but not at $50. I was always before reviews came out. I was always like, not this much.
Yeah. I have to brag on Brian. Brian is about to hit the time skip in Fire Emblem. He has recruited all but one person into the Black Eagle's house from the other houses. He's only missing Raphael, and he's working on him as we speak. So he may have pulled everybody that's recruitable into the Black Eagle's house.
Wow, that is impressive.
That's
Boy's doing the work.
Well, he's hardly leveling, but he's taking them to tea. He's giving them all like 3 gifts each a day. He's leveling up the stats that they like to have.
You guys really need to play a Persona game.
We will in time. It's just he's going all in. I told him, I was like, I'm proud of you. Like, I would not have the patience to keep doing it. And like I said, he's not even at the time skip yet. So he's really been putting in the time and the effort for it.
Wow. Okay, cool. Anything else?
I've been playing World of Warcraft.
World of Warcraft. How long is this going to go on?
Until I hit 60.
Okay. Okay, well, I've been playing other games. I do want to... So I finished Katana Zero Sunday? Last week? I'm trying to remember what day it is. Sorry, it's been a long day.
How long is it? Like 15, 20 hours?
No.
No?
I think you can beat it. It's like Ape Out. I think you can beat it in like 2 hours.
What?
Yeah,
I don't know if that's...
No,
like
I think you can.
$15.
Like, if you're really good, know what you're doing, I think it can be beaten that fast. I'd love to know what a speed run on it, but I think you can beat it really quickly. I think I'm in it to like maybe like 6 hours, something like that. I think is what I'm in on it. I haven't checked, but that's where I would imagine, because I've been playing it. So I've played this game 90% handheld. I've basically been playing it on my lunch break at work. So like every day I log in and I do like 30 minutes. And
what's the difference between the handheld graphics and on the TV?
It looks great in handheld. Yeah, I mean, it's got that retro bit, style, that pixel art stuff. It's, by the way, I mean, I know I said this, it's gorgeous. It's super pretty. I love not just even just the style of the animations and the art, but like what they do with it. I think is even more impressive. Like the environments and the world that they build is my favorite that I've ever been in a style like this. It's better than Shovel Knight. It's better than Messenger. I love it. Like, I'm really into it. So here's the thing. I'm going to say this. I love Katana Zero. I haven't thought about this till now. I'm just riffing off the cusp here. It might be my game of the year candidate right now. It might be my favorite game that I've played this year. Here's the reason why.
Until you play Pokemon.
When I first started playing this game, I said this last week, right? So I don't want to repeat myself over and over again. But when I first started playing this game, here's what I thought. It's a ninja game, like the Messenger, retro bit graphics. It's Jason Lacey, like these aren't games I like. It's not that. It's kind of that, but it's really not. It's like the Matrix. It's like there's like some internal darkness in here. There's some Metal Gear stuff. Like, the game gets weird. Mm-hmm. I think the character like either sees the future or can manipulate time. There's all this time skip stuff. I'm pretty sure you talk to this girl that doesn't live. There's like some Inception, Sixth Sense stuff. Like, I don't know. It gets a little dark.
I love Inception.
It gets a little dark. And wacky. Kevin Austin needs to play this game. He loves Eternal Darkness. He loves Eternal Darkness. He and I have rapped about this game forever. He's been talking about, like how he misses games. This game like glitches out on you. There are moments in this game where you can't win. I fought a guy for 2 minutes trying to survive, only for you have to lose.
There's to play Undertale.
There's all kinds of stuff like that in this game. When I beat it, because I didn't quite understand, and I'm not even sure that I even truly understand what exactly happened. But when I beat it, I went to go look up things. I was like, I've got to go figure something. Apparently, I missed all kinds of stuff. There's hidden weapons, a secret lab, there's a hidden boss.
You missing things in games? No.
Oh, come on. Give me a break. It's crazy. And I say all of that to say that the game is fantastic. It is just so, so good. In addition to, like, you remember I said last week, like, how good the game makes you kind of get at it. And it gets really, really hard. Like, this, like, there's, like, this stronghold keep that you have to go through in, like, a bunker. And there's just, it gets to the point where it gets real crazy. There are people coming at you from every direction. But it's good, and it's doable. Like, I think Hollow Knight...
Clearly, you beat it.
Oh, thank you. Man.
This is Carol giving Donnie a hard time. I just can't
win even here. It's my own show. I just got to get hit this too? I might as well just do a show with Dev if I want to get made fun of the entire time.
I'm teasing.
No, you're not.
They like it.
But yeah, I really, 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 really love it. I really do. It's so good. And it's because of the story. This story gets so wacky. It's like this government conspiracy thing, but you used to work for the government, I think, but you don't remember that you do because you're on drugs. Oh, and by the way, it's super mature. Super mature. A lot of language. But in the best way. It's so good. In the best way. I love the little glitchy effects, the little skips. There's this moment where you're talking to your psychiatrist and it glitches out and you're in a room, you get punched, and now you're tied up to a chair. And I'm sitting there like, what the hell just happened? Who's this? Why am I here? Like, there's a lot of that. And I don't think I've ever experienced anything like that with an indie game. And that's what makes this one stand apart. And when it came out and it was getting all these like really good reviews, I think that's probably the piece that I never caught on to when everybody was playing it 2 months ago. Because I seriously just thought it was like a really hard action platformer. Game. Yeah, you're just gonna mess and you're just gonna go, sword slash your way through it. It's so good. It's so good. I played a little Crayola Scoot, which everybody made fun of me about.
God.
It was on sale for $3.
You're not even supposed to pay that for it.
Oh, man. So let me tell you, Jack loves this game. I have only played it the first session.
He's 8 or 9 years old.
So we're a Nintendo podcast. Like, I've got kids, other people have kids, maybe they want to buy it. But it was $3. I have no idea if it's still on sale or not. But I jumped on it for $3. By the way, last week's sale was bonkers. I got Bastion for $3. You got Transistor for $4. There were so many great games on sale. Bastion looks amazing. I did play the first 3 levels of Bastion. It looks amazing on Switch. But Crayola Scoot's fun. It's fun. Here's the thing. It's $3. Everybody makes fun of it. It's a good game. Like, it runs well. The animations are solid. It's not like some framey, blocky, mess. I don't know who developed it. I haven't looked it up that much. But Jack played it all day on Saturday, and I watched him play it. And it's definitely like Tony Hawk. Like, that's what it is. The only thing that I found myself wishing was I wish I could map the controls I could not map the controls. So you do your ollie, you do your jump with the right stick. So you have to press it down and then press it up to like have like a big jump. But then also all of your moves are, also mapped to the right stick. So it's just a lot of stick moving around. I wish I could press a button to jump and then move the stick, but that's just a personal issue. But it's bright, it's vibrant, it looks good in handheld, it played well, the frame rate seems fine. It's got a lot of like overworld stuff to do. There's a lot of challenges to complete, and you've got to beat all the folks. I think it shares a save state because it didn't matter which profile me or Jack selected. Our character and our progress were in both games.
Huh.
So I think it's saved to the game itself, which I thought was interesting. I don't know many Switch games that do that.
Outright Games.
Outright Games. They done anything else?
Oh, they do the How to Train Your Dragon games.
But it is exactly what it looks to be. It's Splatoon and Tony Hawk. And if you do a 360 or a wheelie and you land it perfectly, then you explode, ink everywhere. And you do Splatfest and you have challenges and you have speed runs and trick contests and grind contests. But, I mean, considering how terrible Tony Hawk 5 supposedly was and how it's been so long since we've had a Tony Hawk game.
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
Yeah, if you're jonesing for something like this is the best game. I mean, we saw the Nintendo Direct. Like, are you waiting for Skate XL? We didn't talk about that because, I mean, I think the game has shown poorly every time they show it. I'm like, I mean, I'm all for skating returning, but, like, be good. That looks bad. So
I would just rather a port of Tony Hawk 1 through 3.
Oh, that'd be great. There's one on Xbox. There's Tony Hawk HD on Xbox. And then I played a game, speaking of Xbox, I played a game on Xbox that you will love, and it's on Switch. And it's the Yonder Crystal Chronicles.
I've heard of that.
You've heard about it, and we've talked about it. I played it this weekend while I was waiting for games to download, and I actually put in maybe 2 hours, and it's Fetch Quest the game in beautiful Wind Waker world stuff. So nice. And it's got crafting, and it's got material collecting. So you go chop the tree down, you get the wood, you go break the rock, you get the rocks, you come back, you build a farm, you put the cattle down, you put the farmhouse, you put down the trough, then you go collect your animals, you bring them back to your farm creates something, you take it to another person, they give you something else, you go build the docks. You see what I'm saying? It's just, you just keep getting quest after quest after quest. And
I'll write it down.
And it's Wind Waker. Like, it looks like Wind Waker.
I know what you're talking about stylistically, yes.
And after my 2 hours of playing, I felt like I don't know if I'll ever play it again. And I was like,
Yonder Crystal Chronicles. It's Yonder the Cloud Catcher. Chronicles,
there you go. Sorry. I don't know why I said that. I was writing this down today. But yeah, that's
Final
it.
Fantasy.
Whatever it is. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's where it came from. Yeah, Yonder the Cloud, whatever.
I've seen Yonder stuff, though.
Hashtag Caro game. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. You should
It's
you should
adorable,
get it.
And I did like what I've seen. It's just, I probably want to play that on Steam, to be quite honest.
I have no idea how it runs on Switch. Sorry. I'm not going to. So I got this game from Sean Capri, who's in the chat. I donated to his fundraising effort, and Luke gave me the choice of a few games, and this one I remembered seeing it, and you're, somewhat interest. So I was like, sure, give me that one, and me and Kevin can play it. And I just booted it up and played it, and after 15 minutes, I was like, Carolyn's going to love this game. It's good, too. It looks good, runs well. Like, it's good. Got all that kind of stuff in there. All right. Moving on. Let's get into our news block, because we've got a lot of it. Caroline, it looks like Overwatch is coming to the Nintendo Switch.
I can't play this game.
Why not?
I can't. With WoW Classic back, there's...
I gotcha.
Yeah, there's just no way. Doing multiple MMOs is a bad idea.
So we get this news from Amazon, which listed a PowerA PowerA Switch case with the logo and everything, officially branded. I mean, that if that's not like an official leak, I don't know what it is. Like, the game's coming. We've heard for a while that Blizzard's been trying to make it happen. It's been a long rumored thing. A lot of folks have kind of linked to it. So, actually, give me a time mark.
1752.
I have to do some fancy editing here. What is this?
Rebecca says, Caro, you gotta play it with me.
17 something.
it was 1750-ish.
1750-ish on the local recording, because I was supposed to play our Overwatch correspondence feature here, but I've had such a busy day. I just got home. I haven't even looked at it, so I don't even have it.
That's fine.
And I completely forgot about it until now.
Womp womp.
Womp womp. But for those of you watching the live stream video, we have Kyle who weighed in on why it's exciting news for Nintendo Switch folks, and we're going to put it in right here. But I mean, that's good and important because I'm not the guy. I've never played Overwatch. I don't have the interest.
I've avoided it.
It's that loop shooter team thing, and not really my game. But
it's basically a TF2 game.
Yeah,
TF2
kind of.
Paladins is kind of an Overwatch ripoff, in that first-person shooter group kind of game.
But I do understand how important it is as a game, like how just all of the esports play it, all the competitions play it. It's a huge. It might be a game of the generation candidate. It's a huge deal. So I mean, I think it's exciting news that they're having it, but we still have to see how does it run, what does it look like. It could be in Witcher-like territory here, but it's very interesting and it's exciting. And this news basically lines up with what Nintendo fans have been hoping for a while, and then we're due for a Nintendo Direct. So I did a little research. Basically, I went to Wikipedia, and then I looked at Nintendo's website and added this up. Because anybody that's out there going, I know the news, I'm leaking it now, Nintendo will do a Direct in September. That's a pretty good bet because they basically have always done a Nintendo Direct in September. Actually, every year except for 2015, there has been a Nintendo Direct in September for the history of Nintendo Directs.
And 2015 was like when they bombed at E3 with the Star Fox stuff.
So
they're probably like, we got nothing. We really got nothing.
The first credited Direct was in October. So if you don't count the September before that, there have been a Direct in 2012, 13, 14, 16, 17, and 18. So it bears to reason that we should have one soon, and we should be expecting one soon. And I think it kind of sucks that this news broke like this, only because...
Well, I mean,
if you're going to leak
third party,
you'd hope that it would leak with like a screenshot or a video of somebody to get something excited, somebody see it on a Switch or something, a case. Like case is boring. That's a bad way to do it. It's like, oh no, that's sad. But yeah, people are looking for the Nintendo Direct.
It's a big deal.
We've got all those SKUs that went up in the GameStop system that people are following. There's lots of Reddit stuff and all that reset era, so we'll follow it soon. But yeah, I'd imagine we'll get something. I don't know. We were talking about it in the Discord, maybe before Tokyo Game Show. I don't know if it really has all that impact on Nintendo or not.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Neither
maybe no. Definitely before Link's Awakening comes out, though. I think before Switch Lite drops.
Yep. I would agree with you there. The next news story is Caroline Astral Chain releases this Friday, and it is kind of a hit. It's got an 88 Metacritic, 88 OpenCritic. It's getting a lot of 9s and 10s. It's getting a lot of people saying it's the best Platinum game ever, one of the best Switch games, Game of the Year contender. People really like this game. Not everybody, but a lot of people do. The majority of folks are landing very positively on Astral Chain. Yep. Is that helping your hype cycle?
I mean, I'm waiting for the game to come out. I'm not going to pick it up at Best Buy like I was doing for everything else. This week has been crazy busy for me, and I'm glad that I kind of put it on the shipping list. But yeah, I'm going to be playing it this weekend.
Ooh.
When it comes here.
You're going to take time out of WoW?
I am.
Are you?
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will be too, for sure. If I'm not paying attention to this hurricane stuff all weekend.
Football too.
Yeah, forgot about football.
Mm-hmm.
Mario Kart Tour comes out to all mobile players September 25th. Are you excited?
No.
Finally? No?
I couldn't care less.
Man, we're bad Nintendo fans this week because I'm the same way. I couldn't care.
I can't do mobile. I just can't.
I'm with you. I just didn't think it was very good. Another leak, which has since been confirmed, is that we're getting a Mega Man Zero X collection. Does that do much for you?
Oh, yeah. That makes perfect sense considering they've put everything else on there.
Mm-hmm.
And perfect legacy collections so far.
Some other news that I had, Switch Lite previews started to go up, so folks have them in hands, and you can watch Game Explain and Kensen and all the YouTubers talk about them.
It's not helping the fact that I want one even more.
Ooh, some of the highlights that I brought up is it does come with a charger, which I didn't think was, something that we shouldn't expect, but they did release 3DSs without them, so I thought it was worth
I know,
mentioning.
it was like the worst thing.
The shell has that matte finish, which you can see, but apparently it kind of has like a texture to it. A lot of people have brought up like how it feels in the hands. Like it's got a little bit more grip to it. Might feel better to hold, which I thought was probably the biggest thing. And of course, the D-pad is a big improvement. Everybody talked about how much they love having the D-pad. So Switch Lite, I'm excited. I wish the Pokemon was coming out with all the other ones. I think it sucks that we got to wait.
It's okay. I mean, like, it's just going to be that much sweeter when you get it with the Pokemon game.
It's going to be so good. Pokemon Masters should be out now.
Oh my gosh. This week sucks. Can we talk about this week for me for a second? WoW Classic dropped on Monday night. Collection of Mana came out on Tuesday. I finally got this thing today. Haven't even opened it. Okay. Then this is coming out, and then Astral Chain, and then football. On top of all of that, I've got to go pick up a car tomorrow and drive all the way up to Cumming. And then I have to do football this weekend. Work sucked. Work sucked. So
I might have to work all weekend if this hurricane stays tracking towards Georgia coast.
Cat 2, it's fine.
Yeah, right. So Piper and Sean in the chat, I apologize. I'm just not much into mobile. I don't do mobile games, but I am going to play Pokemon Masters, Jay says, because I like the Pokemon. See,
that's why I said the mobile ship has sailed, but the Pokemon Masters thing, I almost wish that this was on Switch as some sort of freemium title. Give it the Pokemon Quest treatment, because I would really play it there. I just have an obsession with the trainers and the gym leaders, and I've always liked the characters.
Yeah.
So that's why I've got my statues over there of all of them.
I mean, of all the mobile games, I've probably played Fire Emblem Heroes the most of all of like the ones, especially from Nintendo, for sure.
For me, it was Dragalia. Oh, never mind, Pokemon Go.
But I haven't played nearly as much as you guys have. You know, like I'm not even that game that I liked, and it was Fire Emblem. I still 10 hours.
I got really burnt out with mobile games after Disney Magic Kingdoms did me wrong.
So I can't tell you that like tomorrow I'm going to rush to play Pokemon Masters. I'm going to download it though. So
I'm going to download it too.
I really like that. So my Chromebooks run Android, and I can play these games on my Chromebook. I don't even play them on my phone. I sit there with a mouse and I click through it, you know? So
I have BlueStacks, which does the same thing. You just, it simulates an Android on your computer.
There you go. So that's what I'll be doing, and it's just more of a time waster for me than anything else. So I won't actually be playing it. Ashen was announced coming to Nintendo Switch amongst other platforms. It's been Xbox exclusive that comes out in December. And then today, Shovel Knight announced that the King of Cards DLC and the Amiibo will also come out in December. Then they also announced the Showdown game that's coming. I think that's wise. And then they announced Shovel Knight Dig, which I think is exciting. Pretty cool. It's got this 16-bit, more rounded. It's a different art style, and it's like SteamWorld Dig, or at least that's the approach I took to it when they showed it digging. I mean, it looked like SteamWorld Dig, Spelunky. It looked like a game like that, and I was all for it. So hopefully, we find out more, and there's Image Inform and things. There are tweets going around about these things, but
I've had the Shovel Knight Amiibo
forever,
pre-ordered since they were announced with the King of Cards thing. In October of 2017. That's 2 years and 2 months.
You remember I interviewed them at MomoCon, and they're like, yeah, the game comes out this fall. That was last year. That was like last fall.
What did they do?
I don't know. Hopefully it's amazing.
They've got to have like 2 people working on it, like in the back. Just, yeah, man, we'll get to it when we get to it.
Hopefully it's amazing. I mean, I'm kind of over the Shovel Knight thing. In terms of reskinning the game, something different. But I will play Shovel Knight Dig just because it's a new thing. But I wanted to see the thing that I didn't get from the trailer. Talking to Seth about it in the Discord, the thing I didn't get from the trailer that I just assumed it was, like I assumed it was SteamWorld Dig with Shovel Knight. Like you would dig down, find stuff, come back up, go further. I don't think that's it. It's more like Spelunky. It's like level based. Now, you just get to the goal and then it'll procedurally, give you a new map. You can do it again.
That's a separate game, but if I were to buy Treasure Trove, would I be able to purchase King of Cards DLC on top of that, or is it a completely separate thing?
Actually, I think if you get Treasure Trove, it's included. I think. I thought King of Cards was included in Treasure Trove. I think, as somebody who owns it, I think it's just I get it for free.
Okay.
I think. I could be completely wrong. Now they also
It
announced
downloads when it's ready.
they have a physical collection with all of them coming, so you'll be able to buy them on Xbox, PlayStation, and Switch, of course.
Yep.
So if you haven't got it yet, you can still buy it physically if you want. But I believe if I've got it, you get all of the stuff.
Okay.
Okay, Caroline, Disney's Aladdin came out, and you have more to say about this than I do, so I'm going to turn it over to you.
Oh my God! I'm buying this. Number one, we got a physical copy. This is coming to not just the Switch, but it's coming to Xbox, PlayStation 4, and the Switch. This is the Genesis version of Aladdin, which, for those of you guys that played it on the Super Nintendo, the Genesis version is just better. I'm just going to throw that out there right now. I've played both of them. I prefer the Genesis version, maybe because Genesis was my first version. But anyway, the Aladdin in the Genesis one has a sword. Even the creator, I linked this on here today. This was from an
Shinji
interview
Mikami.
from 2014. Yes.
The legend.
Yes. He said, well, had I not worked on the, Capcom one, I would prefer the Genesis one because he's got a sword. So
I didn't even know Shinji Mikami made this game. And he's like I'm such a big fan of his.
Super Nintendo one. Yeah.
I got excited when E3 came around. I was like, Shinji Mikami's here. And Devin was like, who? I was like, how could you not know who Shinji Mikami is? And they're like, Aladdin. I'm like, oh, I didn't even know that.
Yep. So that and The Lion King are coming together on, I guess, a cartridge.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can download it. Those are definitely probably the two biggest hits that Disney Studios had for video games on the retro 16-bit era. Lion King's hard. It's really hard. Aladdin is difficult, but it's not. Lion King is just punishing. The good thing about this is it's got all sorts of neat things. It's got behind the scenes on how they made the game. So it's movies included on the
They got
on
all
the
these
cart.
different like filters that you can put on it and all these different versions. Rewind, which is good. Save states. Yeah. Yep. That is good stuff. I was more interested
in music. The music library in the Genesis game is incredible.
I was more interested in this when I thought it was a remaster. Like when it first, because it leaked from the GameStop Managers Expo, right? And when I first saw tweets that this game is coming, I was like, oh, it's going to be like DuckTales. They're going to redo the games. No, they're being remade, but for 1080p, they're still old. Like, they're still true to the original that they are.
Same pixels and stuff.
I'm less interested in that then. I'm only as interested as much as maybe Jack or Victoria might be interested in it. And if I can get it for cheap, I might get it.
Difficult platformers.
I don't think my kids are going to like it, My kids...
Do yourself a favor and at least listen to the music online somewhere.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's only $30, right? $29.99 for both. So that's not that much. I'm sure it'll be, I'm sure I'll get it on sale at $15 or something. I just, me, my upbringing, which we've covered on PSVG and then some, I didn't have access to these games. I don't have the nostalgia that so many, SNES and Genesis owners do. Yep. So, I mean, I played The Lion King. I think I played it on Genesis. I remember playing it, and it is hard. I think I made it as far as the Timon and Pumbaa thing, if I can remember. I think it's like my lasting memory of how far I made it.
I don't know if I've ever made it to that stage.
But I remember that stage. I remember the Scars level and the opening level and getting there. But yeah, I never finished it, so it'd be okay.
I love Aladdin, and I love the Genesis sound chip. It's fantastic.
Are you pre-ordering these?
No.
Oh, okay. I didn't know you were hyped for it because there was a lot of discussion about this on the internet. People are extremely excited for this stuff.
Oh, okay, so I have to just say, for the top 3 Genesis games that were ever made and developed, Aladdin is the 3rd. Okay? Most selling Genesis game behind Sonic 1 and 2, I think.
Okay.
It was big.
Well, I mean, I know Disney's huge, and I also don't have that Disney bug you and Kevin and, Mo share, so I don't know.
Disney games from 91 through 96 were good stuff.
Good stuff. I'll probably get it. Just not at launch. Yeah. All right. So last week we mentioned how many questions we got last week. And it's a good thing we got no questions this week. Nobody has any questions.
Okay.
Last week we got a ton of questions we still have to answer. So let's get into it and let's open up our chat questions direct from you. Caroline Dev wants to know, when will you get a PlayStation?
Sooner than you think.
That's true. I know the answer to this question. That's what I responded with. I know the answer to this question, so yeah. You'll be surprised, Dev. Backlog Odyssey wants to know, What are our feelings about 50-turn Mario Party games?
50 turns.
That like blew me for a loop. I was like, I've never counted turns. That's what when he asked the question, I was like, I've never counted turns,
Maxed
but
out at like 20.
that sounds like a lot, and that's a really long time. As if Mario Party wasn't already long enough. But
Number one, you would have to be really drunk. Number two, you would have to be up all night.
playing with friends, co-op.
Number three, there had to be a lot of food.
That's true. Drinking would help. Drinking would help. Mario Party with friends would be a blast. Like 4
Yeah.
people just drinking, having fun. That'd be great. Okay. This one comes from Kaiju. Have you ever called in sick or taken a vacation for a video game release? And if yes, which ones?
I've never called in sick. I've just taken the days off. I've been doing this since... Oh my God. I've been doing this since 2015 when I got really into Nintendo again. It was for a 3DS game. I was not employed when Animal Crossing New Leaf came out. Otherwise, that would have been the first one. I don't remember which game it was, but
Wow.
I mean,
Must have been very memorable.
Well,
What a great game.
I just remember it was a Friday, and I just was like, I'm just gonna take a day off. And ever since, I was just kind of, I get 4 weeks vacation every year, and I kind of don't take them because I'm one of those people that hates to go on vacation. Because when I come back, I'm going to be even more miserable and more stressed. So if I can miss a day every so often, it's not that big of a deal. So I was planning to do it for Astral Chain, but then I've just gotten so caught up on everything else, and the hype wasn't big enough for me. I'm hoping that changes and that I actually absolutely love the game. I did it for Fire Emblem this past, month. I did it for Pokemon last year. I did it for Smash last year. Anything that's a Friday release that I know that I can get away with the 3-day weekend, pretty much going to do it. I think the other reason that I didn't do it this week for Astral Chain is because it's already going to be Labor Day. And I knew that I was going to have a 3-day weekend on top of that.
Okay.
And I took off the Friday for Breath of the Wild when you and I met and we got our Switches. I didn't take off early that Thursday afternoon, but as soon as work was out, I went right over to GameStop, set up my chair, hung out.
I remember.
We know the rest.
All right. Since, I've basically done like a rush job over our notes here on the show so far, I can take a little bit of time and tell some of these stories because I've done this a bunch. Actually, I think the first one I remember doing this might have been GTA 4 or Gears 3.
Wow.
I think I just I want to say I didn't skip class. This is college, yeah. And then I
never skipped school for games.
Actually, no. I remember I did it for Skyrim. Skyrim, I totally skipped class for.
So like 2012.
I was there midnight and played it all night long and through the next day, for sure.
Wow.
I remember that one. Recently,
I remember in high school a bunch of guys doing it for Guitar Hero.
Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah. I almost don't count the ones back when I was before professional employment. When I was just hanging out.
That's just it. I can't think of anything that I skipped out on. Like even Zelda Skyward Sword, I was so excited for that game, but I couldn't play it until after finals were over. It came out in late November, and I just had to think and my exit show and my finals, and I wasn't able to play it until I got home.
When the PlayStation launched, I skipped class, in class, mid-class. I came to school, I was doing night classes at the time, and I remember I was in chemistry. I'll never forget it. And I told the teachers, I have to leave at 9. And they're like, why? I was like, I got to go pick up my PlayStation 4. I got to go get in line. And they're like, well, class doesn't end until 10. I was like, well, I'm leaving at 9. So figure it out. And she gave me a 0 for the test. And the thing that she hated was she was like, you're going to get a 0 for the class or for the test. And I said, well, I have a 95 and you only weight your test 6%. So I'm still going to have an A. You dropped me to a 92. She hated that response. She was so pissed when I told her that.
I went out on my lunch break to pick up Mario Kart 8 Wii U Deluxe Edition the day it dropped. But I only picked it up on my lunch break, and then I played it that evening.
Nice.
Wii U was not.
I did the Wii U launch day, but was that Friday?
I don't remember.
I think
I
it
got
was.
mine.
Yeah. I called
mine
out. I took a vacation day to go pick up, and I kept Victoria out of school to go pick up the Wii U, and we
Now,
brought it
see,
home and we
that's
launched it.
the thing that I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be taking the kids out of school.
I took Jack. I kept Jack out of school, and Pokemon Sun and Moon launched, and we went and got the games. You remember that we took pictures, and we went and got the games and came home and played them. We did that for sure.
I did it. Yeah, I'm just trying to think.
I did a half day on the Switch launch. I did a half day on the Switch launch. Where
just a half day?
I mean, I left work at 12 to get down there, before the midnight release.
Oh.
Yeah. I was down there at the store at like 1:30, and then I left and went got like lunch and went to see them and came back.
That's right.
I've done it a bunch. I called out. I mean, I kept out of work for The Last of Us. When The Last of Us 2 comes, I will take off of work. When Zelda, dropped, when we picked up the Switch, I took 2 weeks off. I was off for 2 weeks after the Switch launched.
I should have taken off this whole week.
And I specifically set it up. Like, I set up my spring vacation for that. And my boss lost his mind. He was like, why are you taking time off to go? He's like, this is vacation for your family. I was like, this is my vacation time, and I'm going to spend it playing Breath of the Wild. Now, we did stuff. I remember Melissa took off, and we went and got lunch every day and stuff. But yeah, I mainly took vacation to sit down and play the newest Zelda game unopposed. I will do the same thing. Whenever The Last of Us 2 gets dated, if I can, I'll have at least a week off because I don't want to be bothered. I just want to go pick up the game and come home and play it and not be touched until I finish it. So I'll do that too. But I mean, I feel like, I don't know, does it make you like a bad person? You like skip out of, you need something to skip out of work every now and again.
Well, that's just it. I can only carry over 40 hours at the end of every year. So I really have to take everything like around Christmas because I've just sat on my hours. So I'm going to do it again for Link's Awakening. I'm going to do it for Luigi's Mansion, and I'm going to do it for Pokemon.
Sure.
So look forward to that.
Yeah. And I think, as I was here and watch Sean Capri in the chat talk about he's going to take Link out of school for Link's Awakening. And then I really do love some of these moments that I've had with my kids. It's like when the Wii U launched, I kept Victoria out of school. We went to IHOP. We have like this huge breakfast. We have all these pictures. Mikey gave her the best story ever. Like, he opened the store before the store opened. We were the only people there, apparently. That was not like the Switch launch. But he opened the store an hour early, and like he closed the gate behind her. He just made it feel like super special, that we were there to get our Wii U because he knew.
People.
Oh, he's
going to be an amazing dad.
So yeah, I mean, I every time when I kept Jack out, we went and got breakfast before the Pokemon launched because he got the Pokemon 3DS, got the Pokemon Sun. So yeah, we went and we did all that. We were there waiting in line, waiting for them to open. We did the same thing. Actually, we did the same thing with Let's Go. We did the exact same. We were there. I kept out of school last year for Let's Go.
Yeah,
and we were there waiting in line. So yeah, we'll do the same thing. I don't know if I'll keep him out of school. I'm not planning on it. I don't think I'll keep him out of school for this one. I probably won't go, get it right away either. I'll probably get it on my way home from work. The difference between we were getting a system that day, but also like Pokemon, these November releases, that's his birthday. So it usually lines right up with his birthday. So it's an easy one for me to get by.
Yep.
Okay. This one comes from Shellshock Prime. Who is the biggest game developer personality you would want to interview for the show? Go ahead.
Why don't you? I'm having to think about it.
Okay.
I'm having to think about it.
Man,
it's
so this
ironic.
This is such a great question. It is somewhat ironic, and the reason we held it for this one is that next week we should have a guest on that I'm very excited to have on our show. I'm still not going to tell anybody who it is. I don't want to seem like I'm teasing this too much. Do you think am I creating too much hype? Like, I haven't really tweeted about it. I'm not really,
I think you're not making it big enough.
So that's what Dev told me. Dev was like, Donnie, this is huge. You should be. But here's the thing. This guy's very busy. I'm still somewhat concerned he might not show. Like, so I don't want to tell who it is, but I'm excited. And if you had told me 3-4, I don't know how long we've been doing this. If you told me when we started this that I would get the chance to have this person come on my show, this is insane. Like, this is such a cool moment, I guess, for us as a podcast, for Nintendo Shack, for PSVG, just as a thing.
It's a big deal.
But personally,
when Donnie told me, I said, "Excuse me."
personally for me, this is a big deal because it's somebody that I don't want to give it away. It's somebody I've followed.
He lives in California.
Don't now you're giving it away. Yeah, it's somebody I've known for not known, but somebody I've followed for many years, and I've heard him say many things. So I'm very, very excited. Rebecca wants to know when we'll find out. You probably won't find out then until the show comes out, because next week we won't be live because of the guests, because of everything we're going into it. Like, we won't be live. We're recording off time. We'll record privately. I'm probably going to spend way too much time trying to edit it and make it sound as good as I can.
Kevin will be here.
And then we will put it out. And we'll just put it out. And once we get it all recorded and everything, then I'll hype it out a little bit more, at least, because I'm very excited. Now, the question in itself is also somewhat nostalgic for me, because PSVG has been such a wonderful exercise, like in life, like just a little hobby to have, because PSVG has afforded me to meet Troy Baker and Nolan North and Suda51, people that I never would have thought of, people that I've read about magazines and websites and stuff for decades. Right. So to be able to do some of that stuff with PSVG has been insane. And even on the show, we've had so many people come through the show. Personally, this is going to sound dumb because a lot of people probably don't know who she is. The one person I'd really like to have on our show is Audrey Drake, who used to be the co-host of Nintendo Voice Chat, because it was her and Rich George, and if I could have them both, it'd be great, because it was both of them. I used to love Nintendo. I mean, I still listen to Nintendo Voice Chat. I think all Nintendo fans do at some point. But it was their version of Nintendo Voice Chat that I think really got me into podcasts. Like, they were the first. I think for a lot of people, like Greg and Colin might be their version of that. Like, everybody has that, like kind of that one. I think Married to the Games has done that for a lot of people. Rich and Audrey were the ones. That's why I always say the Greetings Koopalings, and I would love to at least tell them that and have them on a show. I kind of think that a lot of what I do with Nintendo Shack is trying to replicate that, even subconsciously. I've always thought, like, we should always have a girl, we should always have a guy, like having you. I've always been kind of, this is how a Nintendo show should be, and me trying to make that happen. Okay. So I think that's who I would go with if I could have anybody on the show.
All of the people that we would need a translator because they would be Japanese.
And the easy answer is that I can hear Kevin typing in Discord tomorrow. The easy answer before that happens is, of course, I'd like to have Miyamoto and Aonuma. I think everybody knows that everybody would love to interview any of those people. Sure. So I'm trying to reach out of the box a little bit.
Yeah. I don't know.
You don't have any names?
Matt Bozon. Let's talk about that.
Okay.
This happened at the end of Shack last week.
Ooh, yeah.
I forgot to say this.
Get excited.
I forgot to say this. So you guys know that I love Shantae, and I've been putting together these little Karagumin kits. This is the Roddy Tops one, by the way. And I put Shantae and Roddy Tops together, and Risky Boots is slated to come out actually on the 30th, Friday. And they have this thing where if you pre-ordered, you got an exclusive keychain of Risky, and you were entered to possibly get one of 15 signed by Matt Bozon, the creator of Shantae, boxes of your figurine. Well, wouldn't you know, as soon as we get off Shack, I check my email and it's like, congratulations, you're one of the 15. I lost my mind. So Matt Bozon, who created Shantae, just what he's been through with Way Forward, he's pretty much like the owner of Way Forward right now. They're a great studio, indie-ish, yeah, but I think they're like onto bigger and better things.
Yeah.
Than just indie stuff.
Could have happened to a bigger fan. I mean, I like Shantae, but my Shantae fandom pales in comparison. I mean,
I was so excited.
Yeah, and you should be, because like I said, they couldn't have picked. I honestly want to say crazy. It wasn't even random. They saw you came through and they saw you on their Twitter. They probably see 18 of your photos and notifications, and they're like, just give this girl.
They told me that I did a good job on my things that I put together.
Of course they did. Yeah, you
did a great job.
You're most deserving. So that's good.
Aww.
That's good. You want to do like Bill Trinan? So many Nintendo personalities.
Fantastic.
Reggie?
Yeah. Reggie, Bill,
I'd love to interview Reggie now. I actually, if you'd asked me a year ago, I probably wouldn't, because, if employed by Nintendo, Reggie's going to be somewhat KG.
Charles Martinet would be a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Just have him do voices the whole time.
Yeah. The people that created Golf Story. Whoever they are. Whatever their names are. We should have them. Anybody from Camelot. I don't know. Yeah.
I like Sam and Chico from Treehouse too.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be good.
Yeah, be good stuff. Okay, so Skinny Matt asks, everyone is excited about the not-so-secret SNES games that are coming to Switch Online. I'm not as excited because I'm concerned that what the library will offer, the NES versions or releases, just aren't that very good. What do you think?
I think that the NES was more of they were trying to get out your black box titles, which were basically just sports games, and they didn't really have as many franchises at that point. So the NES was kind of them developing their franchises. They got their Mario out there, they got their Zelda out there and stuff, and so the SNES was kind of capitalizing on all of that. Point is, they probably, those titles that were more concrete were on the Super Nintendo and less for the NES, where they were more of like, I don't want to say an experiment, but the NES had a bigger library with more random games like, oh, me and my kids, we want to play baseball on the television, you know? Something like that. But once video games in the household became more prevalent and they got to know these characters, then they started coming out and exclusively to the Super. Does that make any sense? Am I just rambling?
No, it makes sense.
So I feel like the library is going to be a lot better because more games from the Super Nintendo were based on franchises in Nintendo, as opposed to golf or pinball,
pro wrestling,
kung fu.
Oh God,
stuff like that.
So I talked about this with Matt in the Discord quite a bit. So just to recapture some of the thoughts, I mean, I thought it was pretty evident and clear that he's really just asking that he kind of wishes that he had Virtual Console back. And I think the issue with that, the reason why it's not coming back and the reason why it won't be as good is because Virtual Console proved to so many of these publishers that their back catalog has significant value.
Absolutely.
Not minor value, significant value. So before, it was easy to take, a couple bucks payment from Nintendo to put your game on their service. Now you can release those games yourself in a Street Fighter collection, a Castlevania collection, Aladdin and the Lion King. We're seeing this all over the place. Arcade archives, all this stuff. Everybody's re-releasing these old games because they have value. People want to collect them. They want to play them. So cut out the middleman. I'm sure Nintendo wasn't just giving them all of the money, right? So why partner with them? So I think that takes a huge chunk out of the library that people want. So when you think about like these old games, a lot of people are thinking these third-party games, licensed games, sports games, Chrono Cross, Final Fantasy, like those aren't Nintendo's games.
Nope.
So I'm sure they will find some strategic partnerships when these SNES games come to Switch Online. I'm sure they'll find, room to have a big hit third-party game in there, here and there. But it will primarily be Nintendo first-party stuff because they have it. It costs nothing for them, and it's great. It's great content.
Sure.
Who doesn't want to play Link to the Past? Like Super Mario World. Like these are amazing games. I understand.
And they are generally longer than the NES titles were. Just on like amount of time that you put into them. I'm just looking at my list, trying to give you a idea of what you could get.
I'm sorry, I got corrected. Jay says Chrono Cross was PlayStation. I was thinking Chrono Trigger.
Chrono Trigger.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I know what you meant.
Thank you.
You got the Donkey Kong Country games, even though that's Nintendo property, even though it was produced by Rare or developed by Rare. Kirby Superstar, Kirby's Dream Land 3.
Dream Course. Yeah, and I mean, we're going to get a ton of games. So they'll be there. And you'll get everything on the SNES Mini and then some extras, but we're not going to get NBA Jam or any of that stuff. We're not going to get any of the third-party stuff that has real value outside of that because they'll just re-release it as their own shop, I think. So I think that has a big part of it. And I think a lot of this comes from, our age, the collector's market, with all of these people our age, especially folks that had access to the earlier stuff, not necessarily me, that are nostalgic and they want it, and it's getting hard to find and it's getting expensive. So they're looking for a digital alternative, and that was Virtual Console. That's one of the amazing things about the Wii. If you wanted it, you should have got it while you could. Go get a Wii U, before it's too late. You know, go buy some games. You're gonna have to, because we're not gonna have it again. Like this idea, we're gonna sign into an eShop and have all of our old games be available for us to purchase. They're not gonna like that's not how it's gonna work. So either start collecting for real like Caroline, or you start collecting like me digitally.
Please don't. I've already got enough competition.
or you just get some ROMs. You know,
there's only so many carts.
Yeah. Yep. But thank you for asking the question, Matt. Ryan Black, I believe, from Nintendo Nostalgia. We haven't heard from him. We gotta have him come over to the show in a bit. He says, how technology has evolved. Digital is everywhere, but physical media still persists. Today you can instantly download entire albums, but it always wasn't that easy. Video game soundtracks were so hard to come by. What's the number one video game soundtrack you wish you had growing up?
Man, any of those Genesis chip tunes. Oh, the Genesis sound chip was just a miracle by God. I just listened to those things in my ears, bass boosted, you know, so good. Like I said, the Aladdin soundtrack is phenomenal. Oh my gosh! All right, this is a super nerd thing for Caro. There was a floppy disk game, 1993, I think, called Gizmos and Gadgets. It was kind of like, it was made by the Learning Company. So it was kind of a scientific making thing where you're traveling through these warehouses. One was automotive, one was aircraft, and one was like drag racing. Mm-hmm. The tunes in that were the bomb. I found this person on YouTube that actually uploaded them, pumped through PC speakers, like the old PC speakers. We're talking like from Windows 3.1, where they have like that actual like chip sound to it, and they've re-recorded it through their computer. It's one of the most amazing things you could ever hear. Just stuff like that. I have a nostalgia for chip tunes that I listened to growing up.
I think they do too, and that was the first thing I was going to say, is how connected they are to music. I remember that when I went on their show, like they're so, like, it's entwined in them, the music of every game. They keep bringing it up. It's almost like how they remember things. It was one of the things I picked up and noticed.
Listen, this is how crazy me and these two guys that I met at college were. We came up with a Nintendo spreadsheet of songs.
Wow.
Based off no of songs based off of themes in games. So we had one that was all winter theme, one that were like all jungle themed. We went through all of these games in our heads and made a list, like a catalog.
Yeah, you categorized them.
Mm-hmm. I'll have to find that. That spreadsheet still exists on Google somewhere.
I'm sure it does.
But I mean, I color coded it and everything. I'm big into that kind of stuff.
I can't say that I am. And it's not that I don't like music, but I was thinking about this question. There are soundtracks that I definitely enjoy when I'm playing a game, but I don't necessarily always listen to them when I'm not playing the game. If that makes sense. It's not until so many of these soundtracks became what I would call like music that I actually ever really started dabbling into it. It's definitely something I do more now than I did back then. I never listened to a soundtrack like on my MP3 player or a burnt CD or a tape or anything back then. You know, it wasn't until really what he's talking about now, like Google Play Music and stuff, where I had this stuff available to me. So a lot of the soundtracks that I have, like, I really love Ori and the Blind Forest soundtrack. I think it's one of the best I have it. I bought it. I did the same thing for Destiny 2 soundtrack. I think it's incredible. But I want to say I didn't really start paying attention to music, like outside of, like, bringing video game music outside of video games until Ocarina of Time, maybe. And especially all the orchestral stuff that we got around Skyward Sword. That's when I was like, okay, now this is like music, not just in-game music, but music that I want to keep with me. And I'll listen to it in the car type of music. I never really had that with any other games, but especially not the old ones like chiptunes and stuff like that. But I still listen to, Donkey Kong or like Mario 3 or Super Mario World. I'll listen to their themes and stuff on YouTube. I think YouTube has been a big part of this because you can ring it up. I mean, because I don't know, because I didn't have it. I mean, could you buy this stuff back then, like 1995? Could you have a soundtrack?
No way.
Yeah, I didn't
there
think
wasn't
so.
a soundtrack. I don't think the first soundtrack I owned was the Club Nintendo soundtrack of Ocarina of Time when it came out in like 2010.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a reward, you know? And now I do buy soundtracks, obviously.
Sure.
Because they're available. But yeah, that would be something that I would be all into, is if they release soundtracks. Shantae is another one that's done it well.
That'd be a good one.
They came out with the original Game Boy one on vinyl and CD. I think the creator of the Shantae music has made his music for the game readily available on his website for download for anybody.
Sure. Yeah.
So I think something like that, is I collect the CDs, so I'll buy it from you guys.
One of my favorite things that I have enjoyed over the years, especially modern years, is I like discovering new music via video games. I found so many bands that I like because of Guitar Hero, Rock Band, or Life is Strange is a huge one for me. It's one of the, actually every episode of Life is Strange that comes out, the first thing I do after I buy it is go download and go look at the track list, because whoever curates their music, he or she and I are on a similar wavelength. Like, I love all the music that they pick out for the game, so they could just add songs to my Google Play library for me. It'd be fantastic. So Forza is another one of the games that, like, they have all these different soundtracks you hear.
SSX for me was, just the curation of songs for that genre was great.
Tony Hawk driving around like GTA.
That was not more music developed for games, and I understand that.
Sure. No, I'm kind of bending
music
off
from
of this.
Bands that were curated for those kinds of games were amazing.
They stick with me. Like, I remember songs that I'm playing while I'm playing the game. And so last question we actually had from Sean Capri in the chat. At what point do you retire a game from your backlog and decide you simply will never get around to it? And what was that last game?
Oh my God. I've got games that I haven't played from 2010 in my Steam.
And you still think you're going to... I think everybody has. That's just Steam. Steam comes like that. When you download Steam, it comes with 20 games you'll never play.
No, these are ones that I bought. I don't know, dude. That's a that's a question that it's just there's way too many, unfortunately.
That's a good question. I'm trying to think about it. Because I have a lot of games, and I have a lot of games that I play, especially... I don't know if you count games like Game Pass and stuff like that. I have so many instant collection stuff that, I'll either dabble with or I'll never finish. Yeah. Typically, when I buy a game and I'm excited about a game, I would say typically I play it either until I'm finished with it or until it's in completion. Having, knowing which one's off the top of my head, I feel like hard because, I just finished, Katana Zero and Devil May Cry, so it's not like I don't finish games. I think I finish a lot of them.
Here's another thing, Sean. I buy games just to put them on my shelf. It doesn't necessarily...
Yeah, so this is a better question for you than me, because I'll get rid of games. Like, once a game's sitting around for a while, I'll just get rid of it.
There's NES titles up here right now.
I don't keep games I don't play. Unless they're digital. Like, if they're on the box, I'll, obviously. But if I have games that are physical, I'm not keeping them if I'm not playing.
I'm never going to play ice hockey for the NES.
And Sean says maybe that's the answer to the problem. We never retire games, and this is why our backlogs overflow. Yeah, I think I just move on from games, so I'm sure, if I actually, had time to prepare for this, I'm sure I could give you a list of games I never finished that somewhere in my mind I think I will, but probably not.
I'm still working on Fire Emblem. It's
very, very documented. It's well documented here at PSVG how fast I will move on from a game compared to everybody else on the team. I will move on so fast. So
you're a gaming slut.
Wow. There's no slut shaming in the Nintendo Shack. Don't be doing that.
I'm just saying. You're the one that said it.
That's true. So
you move around.
Yeah. I want to say maybe Persona. Persona's one that sticks with me. I still have it. I have that game. I won't play it again because I know how daunting it is, because I realize it takes me 200 hours to beat it. And I keep buying more games and more games, but somewhere deep inside of me, I'm like, I'm going to pick it back up. I'm going to pick right back where I left off in June, and I'm going to keep going. I'm not. I'm probably not. Never will, but I still have it. I haven't traded that one in yet. I haven't given it away yet. But I'm trying to think. Spider-Man and Gears and God of War, I got through all those. The ones that I keep, the games that I have on my shelf, I've beaten. I don't keep games I haven't beaten. And if I do, I usually throw them in our giveaway. or something like that. Like I move them. I'll trade them in. I'll get rid of them.
Down.
Like Yakuza, I bought Yakuza wanting to get into it and played it for an hour. I was like, this is not for me. And we couldn't give that game away. It was in the Patreon box for 6 months. And I was like,
wow.
I just traded it. I was like, just somebody take this game. So I don't know. It's a tough question.
I got too many.
Okay. That'll do it for this week's show. Thanks so much, everybody, for tuning in. Give us a listen. I'm sorry. I just want to say I'm sorry. I should have been more prepared. I feel bad because I look at our notes and I feel like I rushed everything. And I also feel like I should have had Kyle's stuff in here because he did that for us. And I'm going to put it in here by the time it goes out. But Caroline knows we have a hurricane coming up the coast. I just got home. I ran downstairs. I turned on the stream, so I'm kind of flying by the seat of my pants here. And I usually do better. So I apologize, and we'll do better next week.
I think you did fine. This whole week is just, man.
That Kyle thing, that's gonna eat at me
all
night because I knew it, because I had it there and it's all produced. I had it all set up and I completely forgot about it, and I'm gonna feel bad. So Kyle, you're not on the live stream, but you are on the podcast. So just so you know, I'm not hiding it from you. I'm not even going to edit this out. This is going out with the podcast. Sorry I forgot you in the live show, but you will be there in the podcast. So and guys, hopefully next week, I hope you get excited. I'm excited. I can't wait to ask this person some questions that I think I've always wanted to ask them. I think it's a great staple for the Nintendo Shack in terms of how far we've come. And going forward. And I hope you guys like it. I hope this is a person that you guys are familiar with and will enjoy. And maybe you will feel like I feel. How in the world did he come on the Nintendo Shack? This is crazy. It's kind of nuts. I'm very excited.
So crazy.
It's been a lot of work has gone into this one. And it's going to, I don't know if it's going to kick off, but I'll say it's going to kick off. It should kick off PSVG September to remember. So if you're not already supporting us over there at patreon.com/PSVG, maybe give it a chance because we've got all kinds of announcements, not just us. Nintendo Shack, we're bringing the guns. We ain't the only person bringing guns. Kevin's got some things in the works. Yeah. I've heard that there's a show that's going to be dropping that hasn't been around for a while. I know there's 2 or 3 guests coming around. There's a new patron thing that's going to come out that hasn't been announced yet. There's things happening in September. We've all kind of gathered around and we've all kind of come up with the different ideas for different shows and kind of how we want to do this. And I hope you really enjoy it. Shack's 100 episode is coming through. Board with Video Games 100 episodes coming through. We may or may not be doing some sort of Shack reunion type of deal. And, I do want to say this now. While next week's guest will probably overshadow we have another guest coming too. I keep talking about this one guest. We have another guest that I met at MomoCon who I followed for a long time, and she's fantastic. I can't wait to have her come on the show too and talk about a very special game that's dropping in September. So we got a lot of things in the works, a lot of things. Yep. So just give me a break on this one. But a lot of effort has been put into the ones coming next week and the week after and the week after. So that'll do it. And let's get out of here, Caroline. I'll let you get back to your WoW, and I will get back to editing this and DLC, and hopefully getting this out in time. And we will see you next week, Scooplings. Not live, though. Remember, not live. We want live. No live show. But we will see you next week, hopefully on time, with a very special episode of Nintendo Shack.